I'm blind.
You're blind? Look at the bees are just loving on our flowers here. It's nice, huh? There. One right there. Anyway. No, we're not out here to look at bees, okay?
Butterfly?
But oh, is there a butterfly there too?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, nice. No, that's not what we're doing though. We are going out to the barn. Let's go out to the barn, huh? We've been meaning to do this for a while.
What, trimming the grass over here?
No, I've not been meaning to trim the grass. It needs it. But we've been so dry.
A good weed hazard.
Yeah. Well, it's been so dry that like I'm afraid if I cut it, it'll stay dry longer, and it's fine. That's my excuse. It's fine. It's fine. We haven't had much rain. We got a little burst, so it spurted up a little bit. But it's fine. No, this is a review video.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to review the tractor, honey. Because, we bought that on June.
Beginning of June.
Yeah, I forget the exact day. It was right at the beginning of June. We bought the tractor. We bought the rake. We got a trailer. I got carried away, and but we've got this hay field that I wasn't doing anything with after I gave up with the small square bales.
Yeah, we were supposed to be done.
we were. I was done
for the year.
Yeah, I was done, and then I was like, it's just screaming at me like, cut me, turn me into feed for goats or a horse or something. So I did. I got an RK25. There she be. There it is. And pretty sure there's a dead animal in here somewhere. Anyway, we got the tractor, we got the rake, we got the mower, we got the baler. They're all in another video. I'll try to remember to drop a link, wherever I put the link, the card. But this video is about the tractor. And I didn't even bring the key. So we're not even going to start it. Y'all can watch others of my videos or other people's videos. It sounds good running. It's a small little engine. It's that can though. Small little engine that can. I'm not going to get into the weeds. We're going to try to keep this video short. I swear. We're going to try. Short version. Do I like it? I'm not going to hold you hostage. Yes. I like it. I really like it. Now, this is coming from somebody that's never had a compact new tractor. I'm coming from a 1977, I think, right? John Deere 2040, two-wheel drive. I had the wheels kicked way out, but there's only so much you can do on the hills. Look. I mean, we got hills, and honey, do you want to tell them about your favorite time when I was...
Oh, the time you were rolling backwards on your tractor down the hill?
No, I was talking about the time I was going sideways down the hill.
Oh, sideways? I thought it was...
But, yeah, sure, I've done that too. Four-wheel drive is really nice. The hydrostat, I'd never had hydrostat, like on an actual tractor. Very nice. Makes it really safe. And by the way, if you're going to do something like this piece of equipment where you got to stop often, that's really nice not to have to operate a clutch. I don't even use the brake usually because the hydrostat, you take your foot off and it brings you to a stop. So those are the little mini round bales that we're making right now. We've been selling the heck out of them. It's so exciting. Like, I think in the past couple of weeks, we sold probably half of the total bales that we've sold. And how many have we sold now? Like 200 bales, 300 bales?
2 or 3.
Yeah. So we're through half, more than half, I think, of what you see here is what's left at this property, and then my sister's property, we've got a little bit more left too. So yeah, we're past the halfway mark selling the hay from this year. But this is what's done it. So this 25 horsepower RK did the cutting with that little drum mower. It did the raking with that one you saw out there. It did the baling with this little guy here, making that size bale, about 35 to 40 pounds depending, and hasn't missed a beat. I did the 50-hour service on it at about 55 hours or whatever it was, a little late on that. There's a video in there for you in the same playlist. What do I like? Almost everything. So let's go to the short list of what I don't like. The electro, hydro, whatever they call it, PTO, to turn that on right here. It's electric. So it's like, turn it on. So it wants to get that power takeoff up to speed now. So even at low idle, the drum mower was just breaking shear bolts. Does that make sense? So what I did, come on over here, camera lady, and what I highly recommend right away, if you're going to do anything with the PTO, go ahead and install some kind of a PTO slip clutch. It took me a second to think. What was that called again? A PTO slip clutch. I set it for like 20 horsepower or 25 horsepower. And that's just with a wrench to set that. Really, I couldn't have done any of this without that. It just, I mean, right off the bat, you couldn't even mow the daggone fields. So that's good. The 3-point worked flawlessly. The turnbuckles here to adjust side to side, lock it in and whatnot. They, even if you tighten them down, they come loose. The vibration, they come loose. So you end up having to, turn it back every once in a while. But that's not a huge deal. I got this quick connect from Rural King as well, and I don't like it. You can see actually here and here, I've had to just beat on it with a sledgehammer to get the implements to come off of it. And that's not the implement's fault. It's not entirely this thing's fault. Just the compatibility is a little bit ish. Where, and part of it's because we're on these hills. Most of the time I'm dropping it somewhere out there, and you're not dropping it square. Does that make sense? You're tilted, or you're this way, you're canted. And so the pieces are pinched in. But I'm told, I was actually told by an honest RK employee that they're like, yeah, we've heard some complaints about it. They're like, we might not be the best product on the market. I don't want to get anybody in trouble in telling that they said that, but whatever. It works fine with the baler. It works pretty good with the rake. Just not with the drum mower. Everything else, I don't know. Those are the only 3 implements I've used it for so far. The service went off pretty much without a hitch. The service on this, there's a video. I don't remember. To get the hood open, there's a pin right here that you pull this back, and that lets that slide forward. And then you have a pull, and it slides open. My sister told me, hey, when you end up doing a review, remember to mention this. So I had this overheat on me. Granted, it was, when was that? Mid-June. It was hot. And this overheated on me, and I had to, trying to bail or cut hair, whatever I was doing, and I had to shut it down in the shade a couple times, come back after 20 minutes or whatever, and get back to work. And it was, I think, all because of the right here. Can you see this, camera lady? Mm-hmm. Right here was just absolutely, I mean, so this was full already of chaff, and the radiator here, where the air comes into the engine compartment, that was covered too. So I'd clear that off, clear this back off, and you're good to go. But if you don't keep those clear, it's going to want to overheat. And it actually scared the crud out of me the first time because it'll honk at you. It's running and it goes honk, honk, honk. It sounds like a car alarm going off, but it's the tractor saying I'm hot. So it gives you a message there on the screen that it's hot. But come around, camera lady, kind of look around. The seat is actually pretty comfortable. There is an adjustment knob here to help with the bounciness a little bit. My field, first cutting this year, was still kind of soft, so I didn't notice it so much. But my goodness, second and third cutting, we were dry this year and hitting some of the bumps out in my field. If I'm running a little bit maybe faster than I should with the drum mower. I said, you're supposed to be able to go fast with a drum mower. No. Boom! You know what I'm saying? I mean, this heat can only take so much. It helps. But the R14, right? 14, I think, R14. R1's the ag tires that I had on my old John Deere. The R4s are industrial. And the way the pattern is, I'm like, that's going to slide sideways. It's not meant for ag. It's kind of supposed to be an in-between, but it's really more of an industrial tire for if you're on concrete or pavement of some type. These, I've even run around in the yard, right, babe? Mm-hmm. Have we torn up the yard turf at all?
Not that I know.
No. So these are easier on the turf, but they're
dry though too, so you really can't.
Well, I've been talking about it earlier this year too, when it was still fairly moist. These haven't been tearing up the turf. Very good traction. The 4-wheel drive is amazing, coming from somebody that didn't have that before. The levers sometimes get a little bit like they don't want to go from like low to high range. PTO. I've been leaving the PTO lever here on and then just rely on this. Probably shouldn't do that, but it's kind of stubborn. And even if I'm letting off and kind of moving a little bit to try to find a spot, again, I'm on the hills and you can't always find a spot where there's not going to be tension on it. So there's that. Getting on and off. You're supposed to get on and off from the left side. Are you too close? I feel like you're too close. Camera lady sometimes gets a little bit, and I don't offend her. Sometimes she gets a little lazy. She wants to get comfortable and she doesn't move.
Yeah, so I'm staying in one spot because you're in one spot.
Yeah. So you're supposed to get on from this side because the joystick's on that side. I get on from both sides.
Is that how you ripped your pants?
Now hold on. I did. And that's exactly where I'm going with this. So you're not supposed to go over here because you've got this in the way. And you might bump it and cause a problem. But look right here. See, now you got to move again. All you had to do is back up. So this is your 4-wheel drive, off, on for 4-wheel drive. If I get up, my natural inclination is to just go right here and hop off. But you can see how close, if I'm wearing shorts, there's not a lot of space here. I'm not a huge person, but I'm not tiny either. There's not. Look, this is like 10 inches. So if I just try to get off, what happened one time is my shorts caught right there, and I went to get down, and I was like, oh, I almost biffed it pretty bad. Instead, I just ripped my. Yeah, it ripped. I had ventilation. So. And you're not supposed to do that. I was military for 21 and a half years. You're supposed to, 3 points of contact, come up, right, and get down like this. But realistically, I like to just hop down. So something to think about and be aware of. Neighbor had these on his lawnmower. Those are good magnets. Magnets. Words are hard. And I saw those. I'm like, I'm going to put those on my tractor. So they're kind of nice. I need to tighten them up. They do tend to vibrate a little bit, so you got to move them back, but that's not a big deal. They're kind of nice to have those if you're on the road ever, which I am sometimes. Or, you know, honestly, if I'm just going along with my mower, I can kind of keep an eye on the mower behind me and not have to constantly be doing this. It's a little easier on the neck. So I recommend getting that, and they're cheap. Some magnetic rear view mirrors. Throw them on your loader. I feel like I'm running out of things to talk about. The joystick being right here instead of mounted up here, I do prefer that. The 25 has that. The 24 is over here, I'm pretty sure. Throttle being right here is comfortable. Another gripe is what it is. With the armrest down to get to my 3-point up and down, I just lowered it, whatever. It's pretty easy right here, but if I want to go all the way up, I'm like shoving it back here. Now, not a huge deal, but it's a little crowded. You know what I'm saying? It's a little crowded right here. So, and it wouldn't matter as much, again, if I was on flat ground, but being where we are, I have to adjust this a little more often than maybe some people would, because if I'm driving this way on the hill, right, I have to have the mower at a different height than if I'm this way on the hill. So, and I max that guy out on its ability to go sideways on a hill. So if you're on really extreme hills, probably wouldn't be running that. Probably wouldn't be running anything if you're on more extreme hills than these. I don't know. Speakers, if I'm just putzing around, doing a little bit of loader work, I've been using the pallet forks a lot to move hay around. I throw them on pallets. The pallet forks are nice. The quick connect, whatever, the skid steer, look over there, the skid steer style, for this, my old John Deere had the pin on. These are so nice. I mean, because you just pop it and it's ready to drop. But if you're just wanting to move this around or the bucket around, you can come up and pick it up and move it and drop it. If you're not actually using them, you don't even need to lock this in. So that's kind of nice. Just really impressed with the convenience of the skid steer style quick connect on the loader. I don't think I'll ever take the loader off entirely, but it does have the kickstand, so I could. I'd just drop whatever implement I have on there, the bucket or the pallet forks or whatever. Those are the only two I have right now. And I'd leave the loader on for extra weight anyway. My wife's like, you're getting long-winded.
18 minutes.
I said I'd be quick.
I know.
I also like the grease zerks on this are easy to get to everywhere. I'm pretty sure I only saw like 2 or 3 that were where you'd have to get down on the ground to grease zerks underneath. So very happy about that. The oil is standard type. So everything that you need is easy to get. RK carries everything, or you can find it other places too. The ROPS, my barn over here is, the ground is higher than it is over here. So I keep my tractor on this side, but I did have to go over there today to get some of the pallets out of hay. So I flipped the ROPS down. Very easy to do that. So I like how quick and easy that is. I just got to remember to put it back up. If I stay on this side of the barn, I never have to drop the ROPS. But if I go over there, I need to. What else?
That's it.
She wants to be done. She really wants to be done. I can cut parts out if I'm just thinking. But I haven't had any other issues whatsoever. The hoses, everything is well secured. Make sure I remember to do this. Oh, fun story. Fun story. Let's tell this story and then we'll wrap it up, okay? So the hydrostat really slows you down if you take your foot off, and it's got the parking brake right here. You push this down and you lift up on this little lever right here. So you push your brake down and you pull that up, and that holds your brake down for you. That's your parking brake. Well, out here. One night, I had finished up whatever I was doing, and this is up here, it's slightly downhill. I wouldn't say it's excessively downhill right where I parked, but I parked the tractor right here. And I had the parking brake set. She's giving me a look because she remembers this.
Did you really?
I did. I had the parking brake set. I had the forks down. And I went in. Well, I came back out the next morning, and I don't know if somebody played a prank on me. Maybe it was a raccoon. I don't know. Somehow the parking brake was no longer set. And I'm pretty sure the only reason the tractor was recoverable is because of the hydrostat. Now, if it was a manual, it would have been in gear and it shouldn't have gone anywhere either. But it totally let it start backing up. And I had tracks from the loader. It had pallet forks on at the time. And it had tracks all the way up. It started backing up, but it wasn't able to get enough speed to like run away. And it must have been dragging just right. I'm so thankful it had a slight left turn as it was backing up. It ended up from where I'm standing like 30 yards that way. It had gone like that. And then it was parallel with the direction of the hill or whatever. So it stopped. But I swear I didn't notice it down there. I came around the corner and I went, where's the tractor? I was like, oh, we went for a ride on our own. I don't know if somebody was like, I'm going to prank that guy. No, probably not. Maybe a raccoon. She's nodding yes. I don't. How does that happen?
The cat they won't let me feed outside, probably.
Yeah, I don't. We've got enough cats. No more cats. So anyway, we got projects going on. I haven't posted a video in almost 2 weeks. My sister brought me some old scrap metal that was for her roof, I think. I got pallets left over I might build something out of. But the main project coming up, folks, isn't farm related at all. It's actually going to be, I think, going on our roof. What is it, babe?
Oh, we got to do some cutting around our fire pit, though. Trimming.
Oh, gosh, I'm not putting that on YouTube. No, we're talking about solar,
We're
babe.
talking about projects.
No, we're talking about solar. Yeah, she's got her own agenda for me. I've got my own agenda for me. We've got in panels, batteries, charge controller. We've got a couple of small solar systems like on sheds already. So I'm confident enough with my ability-ish that we're going to go ahead and install a fairly large solar system on the house. Off-grid, we're going to keep it off-grid, but basically we'll be pulling circuits off of the grid, and we're gonna run them for cheaper over the long term. And it's not so much for the cost savings. Honey, do we ever lose power?
Once, twice a month. For no reason.
For no reason.
It'd be like today and we lose power for a couple
beautiful
hours.
day today. I wouldn't have been surprised if we came home with no power. And they're like, oh, yeah, your power's out. It'll be up in 3 hours. And they're usually pretty good about that. But why did it go out? I have no idea. And then if there's an ice storm in the winter or something, was it last year or year before?
Last year was like 3-4 days.
Yeah, we went a few days without power. And we were okay because we had backup solar, but that's outside. And if you're depleting those batteries when it's really cold, it's hard on the battery. So I want, and everything other than the panels is going to be in the house. We've got an old shower stall that we're going to be converting. We don't use it for a shower anymore. We use a different shower. Anyway, I think we're going to strip everything out of there. What do you think? And turn that into a battery / charge controller / inverter house. And we'll probably run 2 or 3 circuits off of that in the house. Fridge, freezer, For sure will be dedicated off-grid, so we don't have to worry about food spoilage ever again. And it'll be able to run maybe a couple other things too, so because that's not that much. I'm pretty sure everything in the whole house is going to be off-grid except for like the actual big stove and the air conditioner, the big air conditioner. Everything else I think is going to be off there. Of course, I still have this project. You know, I got the daggone dirt here that I got to put gravel down. The rains have been cutting through it. Do you see the channel? Well, earlier this year, do you see the channel being cut through? Like water, you just got to go around, but it says no. I'm going to go right through here. Mm-hmm. So I'll probably, if that's where it wants to go, yeah, I'll put a culvert there.
One has the holes on it.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll cover it back over, and then I need gravel. So, anywho, RK25, mucho. Have a good one.